Jefferson Graham, the former tech writer for USA Today for many, many years. We always like to talk tech with you, Jefferson Graham. And I mentioned the Google antitrust case. I wonder if you could give me a second or two on how you feel that's going and where it will go, and if it's a guide to some of these other huge media companies that may be broken up or not.
Okay, well, first of all, do know that I'm not really here. Okay? This is AI. This is AI talking to you. All right.
Boy, it really is good.
Yeah, and but seriously, folks, they're doing some tree trimming in my neighborhood today. So I am sitting at the Manhattan Beach Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Manhattan Beach Chamber of Commerce, for housing me. The Google antitrust thing, the government has tried to make a case that Google is violating a lot of things. And the biggest news to come out of this thing is that Google pays Apple $26 billion. $26 billion a year to be the default search engine on the iPhone.
Wow.
Yeah. So at first you go, I can't believe it. That's unbelievable. That's a lot of money. But again, you're talking 200 million phones worldwide, every country in the world, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And your first thought is to say, oh, that's awful. That's terrible what Google is doing. They're preventing Microsoft from being the default search engine. Not really. My belief is that Google is the best at what it does. I use Google. For all these years, for all the good things they do and all the bad things they do, I use Google. I would not be happy if they had Microsoft Bing on there or Firefox.
But let me just to interrupt. I would say you'd be happier, I guess, if it was a meritocracy of sorts. Meritocracy would be a ding word. The idea being that because they're the best, that's the reason they're the default search engine, as opposed to they bought their way into being the default search engine.
Well, but who's the person who's evil here? Is it Google for paying the money to Apple, or is it Apple for saying, if you want to be the default search engine, give us $26 billion? So who's right and who's wrong? If the thing is for sale, Google made a choice to do it.
Sure.
And in a perfect world, there should be no $26 billion. It should go to whoever is the best. Now, I do believe that Google is the best. And I don't think that the government's going to be able to prove that Google has been really violating the antitrust stuff, the rules that they have. There are a lot of things they do that are bad, but go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, what about the prospects of breaking up some of these big media companies? I know we visit this from time to time with you, but it is an extraordinary thing. I was mentioning before that Meta owns Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. Those are, you really have the whole market with those three. And Twitter is a fading star that Musk wrapped his arms around, and I don't know what the future is. But when it comes to something like Meta, because I think that's sort of more, it's an analog to Google. How do you see that working out?
So what do you take away from Facebook? Do you take away Instagram? Do you take away WhatsApp? What do you do? And then what? Sure, why not? But what happens to Instagram? And with Google, do you take away YouTube? I think that Google and YouTube work together really nicely. For all the evil that Google does with following us around and knowing everything about us, it works pretty well with YouTube because they do a pretty good job of showing us videos that we're interested in. You see it every day. So I don't know how they break it up. What was broken up before? They took the movie theaters away from the theaters. That worked pretty well. Is there something in that, and something similar that could happen with the tech companies on that?
I don't see the difference in search results between any of the major search engines. I do quite a bit of searching. They're all the same, says James Watson.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, Jeff would disagree with you. So
the experience is different. Google's throwing in, go to this restaurant, tell you what time it's opening. It is similar, but it's, right or wrong, we are used to using Google. Everybody I know is used to using Google except for one person. His name is Mark Thompson. He uses DuckDuckGo, right? You use DuckDuckGo every day? I use
DuckDuckGo, yeah, I do.
All day long, right?
Well, I do, and I also have on the phone, I think it goes to Chrome, so I think I'm all over the place. But DuckDuckGo is what I use on the laptop, yeah.
And how are you faring with DuckDuckGo?
I don't notice a difference. Should I? Maybe I do. Maybe like you don't know what you're not getting type thing. So
And DuckDuckGo, for everybody who doesn't know, is the search engine that doesn't track you, that doesn't follow you,
although
right?
as you pointed out to me, it's owned by.
Well, it's not owned by, but they use Bing search.
I use Bing search. Okay, so in a way, you're on the Bing platform, but again, they're not tracking you as well. Um, the so that's where we are. Essentially, I guess you're saying, just in summary on that, look, they just aren't going to likely break up these huge entities on any timeline that's visible and in any way that makes sense. So they're kind of hamstrung. I would guess they're hamstrung by lobbying money, but they also might be hamstrung by a bunch of other things when it comes
See,
to
with,
just a
with
sensible way to
Amazon,
do it.
yeah, with Amazon, it's an easier thing. They have this subsidiary called AWS. AWS is the backbone of the internet for most big firms. They provide the servers and all the technical stuff behind the scenes for Netflix and many other websites. You could take AWS away from Amazon, right? And you say, okay, Amazon, just do your e-commerce or just do your AWS, and that makes more sense to me.
Yeah. Also, I would say, just because you mentioned Amazon, I mean, there's real evidence, and you've talked about it here in our visits, about them. They put businesses out of business. I mean, Amazon, it can be, they throw real heat. I mean, a real hardball. And you want to be on the Amazon platform because it's this huge platform and it's essentially the best virtual mall in the world. But being there doesn't guarantee you anything because they extract additional concessions from you and money from you to be in the initial search. And, you've pointed out all along the way the fact that Amazon is, they're tough customers. It's not a neutral platform by any means when it comes to
Not at
commerce.
all. And Google's not neutral either. If you want to get to the top of Google search, you have to pay for the ads. And that's just the way it is. In a perfect world, they wouldn't do advertising.
So tell me about Black Friday. That's coming up. Is that still a thing?
It is still a thing. It is still a thing.
And
At
remind
first,
everybody what it is.
Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving when all the stuff goes on sale for a few days, and then is followed on Monday by Cyber Monday, which is now followed by Cyber Tuesday. It's nonstop sales fun. And on first glance, you say it's just the same old junk that nobody wants. I get $5 off, I get $10 off, I get $20 off, and that's fine. That's what it is, except for TVs. TVs are still the big draw to this day. You could still get a pretty amazing deal on a TV. I wrote down, you can buy a 50-inch Roku TV now for $148 at the Walmart sale, which is
That's
great.
Unreal. Yeah.
You can get an OLED, which is considered the best of the best, an LG OLED at Best Buy, $550, which it was $1,500 a year ago. So that said, if there's stuff you're interested in, go to the website, go to Amazon, go to Best Buy, go to places that you normally shop at. You will save $10 off some jeans. You will save $5 off a cord. You'll get a $25 gift certificate from Apple, probably. They haven't announced their sale yet. But generally, if you buy a computer on that Friday, you'll get a little gift card. They're going to give you something. Everybody is going to give you something. So again, first glance, it sounds blah, but if there's stuff you want, make a list and then look around on Friday.
Wow, this actually went in a different direction than I thought it was going to. I thought you were going to say, oh, believe me, it's just another marketing thing. There's nothing to it. But you feel as though there actually might be some stuff that you could get by playing the game.
If there's something that you want, again, if there's something you need, if you need a hard drive, you might get $5 off. If there's a cable, you might get $5 off. If you need a new TV, you will definitely save money. Overall, it's overkill and insane, but every brand is going to have some sort of sale and offer you some sort of deal over those few days.
Well, Jeff, would you say that there's never been anything?
There's never been anything like this.
Now,
there's never been anything like this.
Would you give me a thought, because I thought of you, and I'm sure Kim did as well, and those of us who know your story know I believe you were Chrissy Field in San Francisco, and you were shooting something with your cameras, which are, in pretty good, that's higher end stuff. And a a bunch of thieves came and grabbed your stuff. Was it one thief or just one?
One thief.
Anyway, this crew, this foreign crew, came to. I think they were from
Czechoslovakia.
Or what is it now? Is that it? They're Czech?
Well, it's
the Czech Republic now.
Czech.
I think it's called.
Yeah, Czech.
The Czech Republic. Have you been to the Czech Republic? That'd be a good photo walk.
I haven't. Let's go.
Oh my God,
go.
it's. I would love to go with you, and maybe I can. If I can just get the warden to let me out for a couple of weeks, I would. It's very photogenic, that entire region, and there's a lot of great history to the Czech Republic. Anyway, so Czech camera crew comes to San Francisco. They have their stuff robbed at gunpoint, and I thought of you because you sort of had a similar experience.
Yeah, no guns for me. No guns for me. I was addressing the camera, and they just ran. He ran up to me with a big grin on his face, took my camera and tripod, put it in the getaway car, and they just dashed away.
But there was a getaway car waiting. Yeah.
This is a crew.
They were armed up.
Was taking a picture of City Lights, the beloved City Lights bookstore in North Beach, at the corner of Columbus and I don't know what Green, I think it is, and had a gun put in his chest, saying, "Give me your equipment." And $18,000 worth of gear was taken. That was on the weekend, and wow. I mean, that's not a bad neighborhood. That's a really good, heavily trafficked neighborhood, and for that to happen, and San Francisco just keeps getting hit like this over and over and over, and they've been trying their best to put the best foot forward and to make everything's been overblown, the crime's not really happening. Yeah, there's some drug addicts, but they're on the other side of town because, as you know, Biden's coming to town. They've been cleaning up all the streets, and for this to happen is just another black eye. And I
saw the Brooke Jenkins, who's the DA in San Francisco. She had a big press conference, and I think they have tried to crack down on enforcement and on prosecutions, but clearly they're coming up short. I mean, this is really brazen, and again, it's another embarrassing episode that San Francisco has to own.
Yeah, as long as you can resell camera gear on eBay, Craigslist, Facebook, Amazon. No questions asked, no serial number, just fence goods. This problem is going to keep on happening.
This is your solution. This, for those just joining us, Jeff had, I think, or has a really great solution, or at least a partial solution to this. You feel, well, go ahead and tell everybody about the way these cameras and photographic equipment should be marked such that it's not permitted to be sold second party.
It shouldn't be allowed, and you should have to type in a serial number. And then there's also, if you buy a power tool from Milwaukee, from a company called Milwaukee, they have technology in there to stop it from being used if it's been stolen.
Wow, is that right? That's extraordinary.
If Milwaukee can do it, Canon, Sony, and Nikon could do it as well.
That is extraordinary. I didn't know that, but we visited this topic with you. And
I told you about they come and steal the iPhone, and it goes out of the store. And when it goes out of the store, they get a little message saying, "We know you stole our iPhone, and we've turned it off, and we know where you live, and we're coming to get you."
Yeah.
And they just drop the phones.
Yeah, I had my iPhone stolen from a CVS or something. I put it down there, so you do that self-checkout. And I put it down, and I mean, it was like it happened in an instant. And I thought, dude, it's worthless to you because it's locked, and it's just a paperweight, isn't it? I mean, I think that they don't really have a weight on lock. So, yeah, but still they get stolen. Tell me quickly what's on PhotoWalks TV and the YouTube series.
Yes, mistakes that I learned in travel photography that I wish I had known back in the beginning, and how to fix them.
I love it. I love your stuff, and I love how you've created a way that all of us can take great pictures using just our phone or device, be it iPhone or Android. And it's just a really cool thing. So
one other plug, I'm going to be live on Thursday at 5 p.m. California time on YouTube. We're going to be talking about tips for taking better Thanksgiving family photos.
Wow. Well, there's never been anything like it.
There's never been anything like this.
All right. Jefferson Graham, everybody. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped. And please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.